Hello, my artist friends. This is Miss Sarah at Moon Library, and today I want to tell you about Eva Hesse. She was an artist that worked in the 60s. She started in painting, doing paintings like these, lots of color. She used a lot of text, so sometimes she liked to write also. And then her paintings changed. Actually, she moved completely away from paintings. She was born in Germany, moved to New York, and then she ended up getting married, and they went back to Germany in the 60s and with her husband, and she started experimenting more with sculpture. This piece is called The Hang Up. This is one of her first sculptures that kind of leapt out of the frame, literally. Eva said about this piece that it has a kind of depth I don't always achieve, and that is a kind of depth or soul or absurdity or life or meaning or feeling or intellect that I want to get. It is the most ridiculous structure I have ever made, and that is why it is really good. And you can see that she likes to use kind of basic materials. She used things like rope and string and yarn and like this big piece of yarn and string that's just hanging from the ceiling, or like this one. That's pretty cool. I like this one, has a paper mache back that's on the wall on one side, and then it kind of comes down and loops over to the other side of the wall. Eva Hesse, she used fibers, she used fiberglass, she used steel, she used rubber, she used lots of materials that you could find in a hardware store or even a grocery store to make these pieces that really come off the wall, and they feel kind of like organic, right? Like living things. They don't look mechanical or hard. So she was really an early artist of process art, where you would take a material and the making was really all about the making, not the finished project. So today you get a box with some stuff to play around with, some process art. There's a whole bunch of yarn in here. There's a little bit of glue. I also put in some white paint and a paintbrush, and then all kinds of different yarn and thread and string, and you've got a box here. On this box, I punched a couple holes in the side, and what you can do is really whatever you want with this. I'm going to today show you kind of how I weaved in and out through these holes, kind of wrapped the string around. You can put this yarn in the string, you could make it really organized and make it like a grid or straight, or you can make it like a spider web, or you can make it just really haphazard where it goes everywhere, this way and that way. You can even start, and if you don't like the way it's looking, you can take it out and do something different with it. You can make it so the string all stays inside the box. You could make it so the string stays outside of the box. You could make it so the string does both, that it stays inside and outside the box. You can tie knots with your yarn. You could knot it together. You could tie it around the edges. Also, I included some glue. Okay, so glue, this is so fun, kind of messy, but if you dip some of the string or the yarn into the glue and then kind of like form it, you can let it dry and it will hold that shape. So this part could be a little bit messy, but really, really fun. You can even add some glue after you've woven all of your yarn pieces in. You could put some glue on to make it stiff or to make it hang a certain way. If you like to paint, I included some paint. You could even paint your box before you start. I'm just gonna play around and make some squiggly lines. Maybe I'll make some letters. Maybe I'll write my name on here. You may need to make this project last a couple days to let your glue dry, and then to take a look at it later and see if you want to add something else or make the glue in a different way. While Hesse made giant pieces that hung from the ceiling and the walls or even came out from the floor, you can have a little bit of freedom with how you hang this on the wall. You could hang it like this. You could hang it from one of its sides like this. You could hang it upside down. You could have all the yarn spilling out of it. So enjoy your yarn and your fibers and your process, and I will see you guys next time, fine art kids.